Hi, classmates. I want to say welcome back to you from spring break, although we've already gotten into this for about a week now via this video. Just wanted to say hello to each of you. And with April coming up, we're almost done. So with that, I wanted to go into the discussion that we had this week related to PWDs and the special issues related to families and caregivers. And it was pretty interesting. If you read my discussion post, it was quite lengthy. I went into some great detail because I thought the book did a decent job of covering it, but some of the stuff that I used was far more in depth and it just was in greater detail as far as I was concerned. So real quick, some of the special issues I'm going to relate for this video caregivers and PWDs, caregivers and families, I should say, together, because to me that they kind of overlap each other as far as the issues go. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is emotional and mental stress. And to me, those things go together. I can just tell you that when my mom had a stroke, and my sisters and I had to care for her, so we were all taxed out. I was still in the military at the time, and my sisters were our nurses, and we were just between each of us trying to figure out who would take on what responsibility. It was quite stressing. So as far as emotional stress goes, that just, in my opinion, talks about trying to decipher who's going to do what and how the things are going to get handled, especially when there's a distance involved, as in my case anyway, because I was in another state. It was stressing, and it just seemed like there was never enough time in the day to get things done. So that in itself was stressful, and it had its, I don't know, it took its toll on us. Physical stress, kind of the same thing, but a little more, I'll just say physical, because it involved the body more. We had to transport her. We had to pick her up. And when I say her, I'm referring to my mom again. Pick her up and use different types of mobility type systems to get her around. So there was some physical stress involved with that. And again, it was quite taxing on us. Financial stress. My mom was covered well because my dad was also in the military. So it wasn't so much financial stress there, but for other PWDs who don't have that option, who don't have a backup plan as far as finances go, I think it falls on the family to kind of pick up the slack there. And that, of course, can cause stress, and I'm sure it does in most cases. Social isolation. You're alone, and your time is consumed with caring for the person you're with. You don't have a lot of time to go out and do things with your family, so it does take away some valuable time, and you just feel like a loner. You're kind of stuck, for lack of a better word, because that's kind of what it is. I mean, that sounds kind of harsh, and I don't really mean it in the sense of being stuck, but it's just you and that person. So it is a form of isolation. Um, Fears of the future is just the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You mean you don't know if the situation is going to get better, if it's going to get worse, if it's just going to be something that's going to be drawn out over time, and you just have to deal with it. So those things all play into it. And there's just so many things that can overlap between caregivers and families again. And I just felt for the purpose of this video to just kind of commingle them together. Um, but either way, it is a stressful situation. It is an issue, and it's just one of those things that we as counselors, when we graduate, are going to have to try to decipher and perhaps impart upon other people that we talk to as far as a resolution. I mean, even though there may not really be one per se, um, it's just the thing we're going to have to do. So, in a nutshell, these are the 5 things I chose for this week. Again, I kind of used what I talked about in the discussion to put those together, and this is my take on it for this week. I hope you guys are all doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing each of your videos as well. And until then, we'll talk again.